Did you know your garden can be a sanctuary for wildlife? Imagine a place teeming with life where birds, butterflies, and bees find a haven, a place that breathes life into your surroundings. That place could be your garden. Gardens are more than just a space for plants. They can be a crucial refuge for a variety of species, supporting biodiversity and reinforcing the continuity of life. So, are you ready to turn your garden into a wildlife paradise? Stay with us as we explore how to create your own wildlife haven in your garden. Why should we care about wildlife in our gardens, you might ask? The truth is, inviting wildlife into our gardens has numerous benefits, both for the environment and ourselves. For starters, let's look at the ecological benefits. When we attract wildlife to our gardens, we're supporting local biodiversity. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest bird, plays a vital role in our local ecosystems. They help maintain a delicate balance that keeps everything running smoothly. By providing a haven for these creatures, we're contributing to the preservation of various species, some of which may be dwindling in numbers. Consider the humble bee. These buzzing little insects are some of the most effective pollinators on the planet. By planting flowers that bees love, we're not only providing them with a much-needed food source, but we're also bolstering the pollination process, which is crucial for the survival of many plants, including those that produce the fruits and vegetables we eat. Then there's the issue of pest control. Many types of wildlife, such as birds and certain insects, are natural predators of common garden pests. By encouraging these predators into our gardens, we can reduce the need for chemical pesticides and keep our gardens healthier and more natural. But the benefits don't stop at the environment. Inviting wildlife into our gardens can also enhance our own well-being. The act of gardening itself can be therapeutic, but the addition of wildlife brings a new dimension to the experience. Observing a garden buzzing with life can bring immense joy and satisfaction. It's a reminder of our connection to nature and the important role we play in its preservation. Moreover, for those with children, a wildlife-friendly garden can be an excellent educational tool. It provides a hands-on way to teach about ecosystems, biodiversity, and the importance of conservation. In conclusion, creating a wildlife-friendly garden not only supports local biodiversity and ecological balance, but also enhances our mental well-being. It's a win-win situation. Remember, every garden can make a difference no matter how small. So let's start making a difference today, one garden at a time. How can the right plants attract and support wildlife? Well, let's find out. The plant choices in your garden can make a big difference to the variety of wildlife it attracts. The key is to use native plants that are naturally adapted to your region's climate and insects. These local plants have co-evolved with local wildlife and are often more beneficial to them than exotic species. For example, the eastern redbud, a native tree to the eastern United States, is a favorite among bees and hummingbirds for its early spring nectar. Its seed pods also provide late winter food for many bird species. Similarly, the California poppy, the official state flower of California, is not only beautiful, but also a significant source of food for native bees, butterflies, and beetles. Then, there's the purple coneflower, a prairie native, which is a magnet for a variety of insects. Its seeds also offer a winter feast for goldfinches and other birds. The beauty of using native plants is that they attract a fascinating array of local wildlife and are generally easier to care for since they are well adapted to local soil and weather conditions. But it's not just about choosing the right plants, it's also about creating a diverse plant community. A garden with a variety of plants will attract a wider range of insects, birds, and other wildlife. Think about plants that provide food in different seasons, from early spring blooms for bees just waking up from winter, to late falling fruits that provide sustenance for birds and mammals during the colder months. Also, consider plants of different heights and structures. Small shrubs and grasses can provide shelter for ground nesting birds and insects, while taller trees can offer nesting sites for birds and squirrels. Don't forget about deadwood, which can be a haven for beetles and other insects. A log pile in a shady corner of your garden can make an excellent wildlife hotel. Remember, your garden isn't just a garden, it's a mini ecosystem in its own right. The plants you choose to put in it play a crucial role in supporting that ecosystem by providing food and shelter for local wildlife. By choosing native plants and creating a diverse plant community, you're not just making your garden more attractive, you're also helping to support local biodiversity. And that's something we can all feel good about. So, the next time you're planning to add a new plant to your garden, consider what it can do for local wildlife. Can it provide food for bees or butterflies? Does it offer shelter for birds or insects? Will it add to the diversity of your garden's ecosystem? The right plants can transform your garden into a vibrant haven for wildlife, buzzing with life and activity throughout the year. And that in turn can transform your experience of your garden, making it a place of discovery, wonder, and connection with nature. Remember, diversity in plants means diversity in wildlife. Water is life, even for your garden's visitors. It's not just a poetic sentiment, but a fundamental truth. Water features, such as bird baths or small ponds, can attract a diverse array of wildlife, creating a bustling hub of activity in your garden. Imagine a verdant garden, alive with the fluttering of wings and the gentle hum of insects. Now imagine a focal point, a meeting place for all these creatures, a water feature. It could be as simple as a shallow dish filled with water or as grand as a small pond. It's not about the size but the life it brings. Birds, in particular, are drawn to water. They use it for drinking, bathing, and even cooling off on those hot summer days. A bird bath perched on a pedestal or nestled among the flowers can be the perfect invitation for our feathered friends. Fill it with fresh water and watch as it becomes a hub of bird activity. But it's not just the birds that benefit. Butterflies, bees, and other insects also need water. A shallow dish with a few pebbles for them to land on can be a lifesaver, especially during dry spells. And if you're lucky, a small pond might even attract amphibians like frogs and toads. Imagine the delight of discovering a family of frogs have made your garden their home. Maintaining these water features is as crucial as installing them. Keep them clean to prevent the spread of diseases. Refill them regularly, especially in the summer when evaporation takes its toll. In winter, consider a heater to prevent the water from freezing. And always ensure there's a way for creatures to get in and out safely. Water features not only attract wildlife but also add beauty to your garden. They bring movement, sound, and a touch of the wild right to your doorstep. So why not add a water feature to your garden today? You'll be amazed at the difference it makes, not just to the look of your garden, but to the variety of wildlife it attracts. What role does organic gardening play in supporting wildlife? When we talk about organic gardening, we are speaking about a system that is in harmony with nature, one that supports and enriches the environment rather than depleting it. Organic gardening is more than just avoiding synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. It's about building healthy soil, promoting biodiversity, and creating a sustainable habitat for wildlife. A key benefit of organic gardening is the avoidance of synthetic pesticides. These chemicals can harm not just the pests they're meant to control, but also beneficial insects, birds, and other animals that visit or live in your garden. Beneficial insects like bees, butterflies, and ladybugs play a huge role in pollination and pest control. However, they can't distinguish between the plants sprayed with pesticides and those that are not. This can lead to a drastic decline in their population, disrupting the natural balance. By choosing organic methods, we can help protect these valuable creatures. Instead of reaching for a spray can at the first sign of a pest, we can encourage natural predators, use physical barriers, or even hand-pick pests off plants. It's about working with nature rather than against it. Another important aspect of organic gardening is soil health. Healthy soil is teeming with life, from earthworms and insects to a vast array of microscopic organisms. These creatures play a crucial role in breaking down organic matter and making nutrients available to plants. Chemical fertilizers can disrupt this complex ecosystem, leading to poor soil health over time. Composting is a fantastic way to improve your soil's health organically. By composting your garden and kitchen waste, you're not just reducing the amount of waste going to landfill, but also creating a rich, nutrient-dense compost that your plants will love. This compost feeds not only your plants, but also the myriad of tiny creatures living in your soil, promoting a vibrant living ecosystem right in your backyard. Moreover, organic gardening practices can help in conserving water. Mulching, for instance, is an excellent way to retain moisture in the soil. It also suppresses weeds and gradually adds nutrients back to the soil as it breaks down. Beyond the garden, organic practices can extend to the lawn as well. By allowing your lawn to grow a bit longer, you provide habitat for insects and small animals. Also, leaving grass clippings on the lawn can return nutrients to the soil, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers. In conclusion, organic gardening is about creating a holistic, sustainable environment that supports a wide range of wildlife. It's about recognizing that every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest bird, plays a valuable role in our garden ecosystem. By choosing organic methods, we're taking a step towards a more sustainable future, one garden at a time. Organic gardening is a win-win for you and the wildlife. Who has successfully created a wildlife haven in their garden? Let's dive into the world of gardeners who have turned their backyards into thriving sanctuaries for wildlife. Their stories are not just inspiring but also a testament to what can be achieved with a little dedication and a love for nature. Take for instance the story of Mary, a retiree from Oregon. Mary has always had a green thumb and a fondness for birds. After retiring, she decided to dedicate her garden to creating a safe haven for local bird species. She started with a variety of berry-producing shrubs and native plants, providing an abundant food source for the birds. Her garden is now a symphony of chirping and singing, with over 20 different bird species making regular visits. Then there's John, a high school teacher from Florida, who has always been fascinated by insects. He transformed his garden into an insect hotel, creating habitats for beetles, butterflies, bees, and other invertebrates. He installed log piles and left patches of his garden wild to encourage insects. His garden is now abuzz with life, and he's even noticed an increase in the number of birds. And who could forget the story of the Anderson family from Texas? They decided to turn their suburban garden into a wildlife-friendly space. They installed a pond, which not only added a beautiful feature to their garden, but also attracted a host of wildlife. Frogs, dragonflies, and even the occasional heron have been spotted enjoying the water feature. And it's not just about the animals. These gardeners have also reported a significant increase in the variety of plant life in their gardens. From vibrant wildflowers to lush green ferns, the biodiversity is truly a sight to behold. But what's perhaps most fascinating is the impact these gardens have had on the gardeners themselves. They speak of a newfound appreciation for nature, of hours spent observing the intricate dance of bees, the fluttering of butterfly wings, the industriousness of ants. They've learned to recognize bird songs, to identify different insect species, to understand the delicate balance of their garden ecosystems. And let's not forget the sense of achievement they feel. Each new bird species spotted, each butterfly seen fluttering about, each frog heard croaking around the pond is a testament to their hard work and dedication. It's a rewarding experience that goes beyond the aesthetic appeal of a well-maintained garden. These stories are not just about gardening, they're about creating a space where nature can thrive, where wildlife is welcomed and cherished. They're about cultivating a deeper connection with the natural world, right in our backyards. These stories show that creating a wildlife haven is possible and rewarding. Each one of these gardeners started with a simple idea, a love for nature, and a desire to make a difference. And look what they've achieved. Isn't it time you started your own wildlife garden story? Ready to create your own wildlife haven? Let's dive into the steps you can take to transform your garden into a sanctuary for our feathery and buzzy friends. First things first, you need a plan. Consider the size and location of your garden, the amount of sunlight it gets, and the type of soil you have. These factors will influence the types of plants you can grow and the wildlife you can attract. Next, it's time for some research. Look into the types of wildlife native to your area and what they need to thrive. Do they prefer certain plants or require specific habitats? With this information in hand, you can begin to select plants and design features that will lure these creatures into your garden. Now, on to planting. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about creating a balanced ecosystem. Mix native plants with those that provide food and shelter for wildlife. Plant in layers to mimic natural habitats with tall trees and shrubs for birds, lower bushes and flowers for insects, and ground cover for small mammals. Don't forget about water features. A simple bird bath or a small pond can make a world of difference to your garden's appeal. These features provide essential hydration for your wildlife guests and can also serve as habitats for aquatic creatures. As your garden starts to take shape, remember that maintenance is key. Avoid using chemical pesticides and fertilizers that can harm wildlife. Instead, opt for organic gardening practices like composting and mulching. And finally, be patient. Creating a wildlife haven takes time. Don't be disheartened if you don't see results immediately. Keep nurturing your garden, and before you know it, you'll start to see signs of life. A bird perched on a branch, a butterfly fluttering by, or a bee buzzing around your flowers. Remember, every garden, no matter how small, can make a difference. Whether you're starting with a window box or a sprawling backyard, you have the power to create a haven for wildlife, right at your doorstep. Your wildlife haven journey starts now. Why wait? Start your wildlife garden project today. We've journeyed through the verdant realms of wildlife gardening, and it's clear that our gardens can be more than just a pretty sight. They can be sanctuaries for birds, insects, and other creatures that make our world vibrant and diverse. Remember, choosing the right plants is the first step. Opt for native species that provide food and shelter for various wildlife. Create water features, not just for beauty, but to quench the thirst of our feathered and winged friends. And let's not forget the power of organic gardening practices. These are the building blocks of a thriving wildlife garden. We've heard inspiring stories from gardeners who've transformed their spaces into wildlife havens. They've shown us that it's possible, and the results are nothing short of magical. Their gardens buzz with life, and they've formed a connection with nature that's truly enriching. But this journey isn't just for them, it's for all of us. Each of us has the potential to make a difference, to contribute to the conservation of nature, right in our backyards. It's not just about creating a beautiful garden, it's about creating a haven for wildlife. Share your progress and join the community of wildlife gardeners. Let's make a difference, one garden at a time.